The pursuit of happiness. Have you ever wondered how to achieve happiness? More importantly, how to maintain it when you have it? The question is vital as happiness keeps us in a state of pleasure, which relieves stress and any emotion associated with it. Many people have different understandings as to what grants them happiness. For example, Zach may experience happiness when going fishing with his father, while Sophia may experience happiness when bowling with their friends. What this means is that happiness is subjective to an individual. However, can we understand this fundamental pursuit of happiness so we can relate it to our daily lives and then find happiness in the littlest things? Well, I sure wish I could. Let's look at a philosophy which heavily deals with this concept, Eastern philosophy. When it comes to Eastern philosophy, there are many aspects focusing on obtaining happiness. In fact, it is believed to come from the support and love of one's family, rather than experience from one's senses, which is connected to pleasure. In the many schools of Eastern philosophy, the meaning of happiness differs. There are many branches of Eastern philosophy. However, we'll be focusing on the main four. Starting with Hinduism. Hinduism focuses on a concept called moksha. Moksha is what allows one to liberate from the cycle of life and death. It is believed to then allow an individual to focus on the present tense, avoiding distraction from events beyond our control, such as the past or the future. This would then lead to an overall happier life. Buddhism is also on the spectrum, as it focuses on a concept called nirvana, which roughly translates to becoming extinguished or blowing out. Nirvana is seen as the supreme goal of Buddhism, as it ceases one's suffering, granting one bliss and detachment in a state of reflection. Taoism, on the other hand, is big on the concept of Wu Wei, making it, as you may have guessed it, the answer to happiness. Through the concept of effortless action and letting things be, Taoists argue humans are capable of experiencing any emotion they desire. A creative way to illustrate this idea is water. Now, water flows and does not fight what it cannot control. This can be seen in large bodies of water, such as oceans, where the wind has a considerable effect on where the water pulls and where the water pushes. The water does not fight this wind, and the result is a tide. The school of Eastern philosophy, which is quite contrary to the others, is Confucianism. Confucianism argues that happiness is not only built upon pleasure conceived by the senses, rather ethical pleasure where all of one's ambitions and goals are achieved. This school focuses on the material aspect of happiness. This can be seen in wealth, status, and power. Not something the other schools of Eastern philosophy are big on. There is one philosopher in particular who has a modest approach to happiness, making it seem achievable for almost anyone, including those who have experienced tragedies. His name is Socrates. He is a Greek philosopher born in 470 BCE. He is thought of as the father of Greek philosophy, or the father of Western philosophy. He has had very interesting views on happiness. He believed that above all, humans desire happiness, making it the fundamental goal of life. He opposed the belief that material objects project internal happiness, as he felt happiness was directive rather than additive. What this essentially means is that happiness is not reliant on external goods, rather on how we use these external goods. He states, "The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. That's a very interesting concept. What do you think? Is happiness obtainable for you even on your worst days? I know all this information has helped me recognize how to achieve happiness more consistently, even on bad days where I might not feel well, or maybe I have a headache. I need to not focus on the bad, but on the good, acknowledging that, hey, this may not be your best day, but it's definitely not going to be your worst.